the answer.
Hey, welcome in. I'm back. And you know, I can't tell you how much I appreciate it, the opportunity to talk about Jim Tressel being the lieutenant governor of the state of Ohio. I mean, you didn't have to like present me a batting practice fastball on a tee to welcome me back to the show, but I do appreciate it. But we're going to start with Musk and DOGE and all kinds. We'll get to JT. We'll get to JT. Heartbeat away from the governorship. So thanks for joining us here on the Wednesday edition of the Bruce Hooley Show. Oh, I'm back from the nasty flu. Thank the Lord for Tamiflu and for good friends who can prescribe medication to get us out of the bed and off the couch and back in the chair here at 98.90 Answer. I'm Bruce Hooley, glad to be with you. Thanks to Matt Mayer for filling in on 2 consequential days. There are no unconsequential days with Donald Trump in the White House. We're now into week 4 of Trump's presidency. Not yet 30 days. And yes, we'll get to all the Jim Tressel stuff. I know you're all, like a lot of you, though, who know, my long history with the former Ohio State football coach. You're probably like, oh, Hooley's out because Tress got named lieutenant governor. No, I was really sick. And no, that didn't even make me more sick. I laughed when I saw it. I thought it was humorous and funny, and I've enjoyed listening to Matt Mayer talk about the political ramifications. I'm not going to go chapter and verse into it much. I'm just going to make a point that, I've always said, with whether it's Joe Biden or whether it's any other political leader, you get the leaders you require. Mike DeWine, anybody, you get the leaders you require. And I'm not sure you're getting in Jim Tressel what you think you're getting. And I'll prove that at the bottom of the hour. But let's get to DOGE first, because yesterday was, in my estimation, one of the most remarkable press conferences I have ever seen in my life involving a United States president. And Donald Trump barely said a word. I mean, here's the thing. Like, if you did not see Elon Musk and Donald Trump in the Oval Office yesterday with Musk's adorable little son, who goes by the name X, if you did not see that, I'm begging you, go on YouTube or any other avenue where you can find it. It's not hard to find. Google it and watch it. It's like 28 minutes, and it is worth it because we've all seen the Democratic pushback against Musk's efforts to rein in federal spending. Donald Trump campaigned and Elon Musk campaigned with him. Virtually any time Trump was making one of his many rally speeches, it was about getting the border under control, domestic energy, peace through strength, and making government more efficient and curbing spending, right? Those were the 4 pillars of Trump coming back into office. Didn't hide the ball from anybody. Didn't keep Elon Musk out of the limelight. Musk was out there. Musk was giving away $1 million every time he spoke. This is not a secret to anybody what Donald Trump planned to do, pledged to do, and what role Elon Musk was going to play in it. We heard all about the Department of Government Efficiency with Vivek Ramaswamy and Elon Musk. This was the ultimate transparency, okay? I don't remember Joe Biden when he campaigned in 2020 saying, if I get in, I'm going to expand Title IX to include fake men playing women's sports. I don't remember that. I don't remember Joe Biden saying he's going to forgive student loans. I don't remember him saying he was going to impose a vaccine mandate or rent moratoriums or anything else that were blatantly unconstitutional, which he continued to do anyway. But Donald Trump promised to do all of that, and the American people apparently liked it and elected him to do just exactly that. And I know it's not something we're typically accustomed to, a politician following through on their campaign promises. But what has Donald Trump done in his first 3+ weeks in office other than follow through on exactly what he said he would do? Now, this thoroughly angers Democrats, of course, because they wanted to win the election, and I understand that. But they got thoroughly trounced. They were repudiated. They were rebuked. They were rejected by the American people. They were rejected in every single swing state. They were rejected in the popular vote. They were buried under a deluge in the Electoral College. All of that is established history. You know all of it. And there were, in the immediate aftermath of the election, about 2 or 3 days worth of self-introspection on the part of Democrats. Gee, what did we do wrong? Where did we go wrong? How do we fix this? This was a bigger loss than we anticipated. We got to look at our messaging. And then after the breath from those words vaporized into the air, Democrats have decided, no, we don't have to do that. Let's just go back and let's just replay what we did after Trump was elected in 2016. Let's just oppose him at everything. Well, okay. I guess I understand the temptation to do that, because after all, it kind of sort of worked to derail his first term. But it's not going to work this time. And the reason why it's not going to work this time is because of the way that Elon Musk and Donald Trump, more Musk than Trump, spoke yesterday from the Oval Office. Before I get into the substance of it, how remarkable is it that Donald Trump, who, kind of likes the spotlight, right? Since Trump came back into the Oval Office, have you noticed anything about his availability, about how often he appears on camera, about how often he interacts with the press, which is his way of interacting with you as a voter? Seems to me he kind of likes it. Seems to me Trump enjoys being the center of attention. Not a secret. His favorite color is gold, and every property he owns has in big letters emblazoned on it, Trump. Okay? Not a shrinking violet. The man likes attention. So how remarkable was it yesterday for Donald Trump to have the attention? They're carrying him live on CNN, on Fox. They're carrying him live on all the networks. And there is Trump sitting in the Oval Office, allowing himself to be upstaged by Elon Musk and Musk's adorable little son. That tells you the high esteem in which Donald Trump holds Elon Musk, because Donald Trump does not yield the spotlight very often. But he clearly has great admiration for Elon Musk. And if you listened to Musk yesterday, you have to have admiration for Elon Musk too. I made my wife watch parts of it. I made my daughter watch parts of it. Because while Elon Musk is a brilliant scientific mind, perhaps the most brilliant scientific mind of our time, he spoke in such plain, easy to understand words that you could have virtually no education at all and say, yeah, what he just said makes total and complete sense to me. Now, in advance of Musk and Trump having this remarkable 30 minutes in the Oval Office yesterday, there continued to be the Democratic freak out and shriek out throughout Washington, D.C. about what Musk and Trump are doing, daring to look at government spending. Now, I could replay you audio of the Democrats regurgitating the same tired F Trump lines that Robert De Niro and Madonna and others threw at Trump in his first term. I could do that. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to say, and I'm probably not going to play you the ongoing Democratic freak out and shriek out from AOC and Ilhan Omar and Chuck Schumer and Chris Coon and all the other morons, Chris Murphy and others. But the one thing that stands out at me about their objection to Trump following through on what he promised to do, if you have any knowledge of the ministry of Jesus Christ, you know that no demon goes quietly when it is exorcised. You read the Gospels, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. Every time Jesus exorcised a demon, does it say, oh, and all of a sudden the guy was very calm and, they didn't hear? No, the demon threw him to the ground, convulsed, shrieking. Demons are always loud when they are exorcised. And so this is what I see in the Democratic response to what Donald Trump and Elon Musk are doing. Trump, in one of his rare comments yesterday, made the point that he's doing exactly what he was elected to do. And more importantly than that, the American people know that this is necessary, cutting government waste, cutting government spending. And they know that they were lied to throughout the Biden administration, throughout the Trump first term. And they finally had their belly full of it, and they're not going to take it anymore. So I'm going to play you a bunch of sound from this press conference yesterday because it was so remarkable. Musk was so endearing, a little weird because Elon's, I don't know if it's a touch of autism or what it is, but Elon's a little unique in the way that he converses. But this was a historic moment yesterday. I don't want to miss it. I'll share it with you next.
Mostly cloudy to rain for this afternoon. High today at 41. For tonight, not as cold this evening. Snow and sleet, little or no accumulation. Rain late tonight, low 32. Breezy day tomorrow. Clouds followed by some sun, high 37. And then sunny clouds on Friday. Chilly afternoon, high 35. Rain at times on Saturday, high 43. Clouds and a bit of snow on Sunday, the high 38. I'm Steve Williams on 98.9 FM, The Answer.
Sorry, man, but you need to vacate this home.
Well, officer, I own this home free and clear. I lived here for 40 years.
Well, unfortunately, this paperwork says otherwise.
But I have nowhere else to go.
I'm sorry to hear that, man.
This story is becoming all too common in the U.S. Scammers are preying on people with or who own their homes free and clear of a mortgage. Only one company completely protects you. That's Equity Protect. Get your free risk report by texting the word home to 94878. Again, text the word home to 94878 to get your free risk report from Equity Protect.
Here's great news. If you're planning to attend Valor Christian College as a new student this fall semester, you can receive a $5,000 tuition scholarship for only $2,500. That's right, $2,500 off your first semester for all new students. One scholarship per student. All Valor Christian College admission requirements must be met. Whether you're interested in preparing to enter ministry or want to delve deeper into God's calling on your life, Valor Christian College in Canal, Winchester may be for you. To learn more, click on shopping at 989theanswer.com.
This is an urgent announcement for anyone that's $10,000 or more in debt. This new year, get out of debt now. There are special programs that can completely free you of your debt.
No, I don't want that.
Financial freedom can help you become debt-free in months
not what
instead
I
of
want.
years. In 2025,
Go from the top
resolve
down.
to get rid of your credit card debt, signature loans, department store cards, internet loans, and timeshares. For almost 20 years, Total Financial Freedom has helped thousands get out of debt. To celebrate 2025, you can start for as little as $99 regardless
Musk
of how much
Mod's
debt you
salary.
owe. Total Financial Freedom is A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau and a Christian-owned company. End the endless cycle of payments now. Take a stand. You have the right to get your debt resolved and substantially cut your monthly payments. Call Christian-owned Total Financial Freedom now for a free consultation at 800-533-6605. That's 800-533-6605. 800-533-6605.
3 years ago, I wrapped up a run of Annie playing Daddy Warbucks with the South Carolina Children's Theater, feeling tired, 50 pounds overweight, fed up with the way I felt. Hi, Mike Gallagher here. I had to do something, so I scheduled a weight loss consultation with PhD Weight Loss and Nutrition. And as they say, the rest is history. Within a few months, I lost 53 pounds, regained control of my health. 3 years later, I've kept the weight off, and I feel better than ever. If you're in the same place I was, take the first step like I did. Make the phone call that can change your life. PhD Weight Loss. Their program is fast, simple. They won't let you fail. Schedule your consultation today. 864-644-1900. 864-644-1900. Here's the best part. The first 11 callers who mention healthy will get 2 free weeks added to their weight loss package. Don't wait. Hit your weight loss goals. Call now. 864-644-1900. 864-644-1900. Mention healthy to get 2 free weeks. Or visit them at myphdweightloss.com. myphdweightloss.com.
This is such a stupid point they're making.
Happily getting ready for work and school. Sadly, some police officers don't make it home because motorists don't move over for emergency vehicles on the shoulder.
I'm Ohio Fraternal Order Police President Jay McDonald. There are too many injuries and even deaths because drivers don't move over. When you see a stopped emergency vehicle, please move over.
Visit fopohio.org/moveover for more information and use hashtag MoveOver on social media to join us. This is a public service of the Ohio Fraternal Order of Police and this station.
Resist the Drift is coming up this weekend, Valentine's Day. Man, guys, if you haven't taken care of Valentine's Day yet, you better be doing it. You still go to 9890answer.com and book tickets for you and your spouse. Or, hey, ladies, you could book tickets for you and your husband to attend the Resist the Drift Marriage Conference at Genoa Christian Fellowship, February 14th and 15th. Would you like to grow closer together the way you were when you were first married rather than just being roommates? How about being soulmates? Dr. Greg and Aaron Smalley can make that happen. And if you attend, you have 2 options. You can go on the general admission ticket, which gets you to 4 sessions, and the conference workbook will be great. But if you spring for the VIP experience, well, then you get a continental breakfast, a free gift, and a private Q&A session with the Smalleys, in addition to the regular instruction and the workbook. So maybe a last-minute surprise for your spouse. The Resist the Drift Marriage Conference coming up at Genoa, February 14th and 15th. Book tickets, 9890answer.com. First thing that struck me yesterday while I watched Elon Musk and Donald Trump in the Oval Office explain and justify what DOGE is doing and articulate just how much madness has been allowed to reign in our federal government, not just during Joe Biden's term, but during decades of ongoing growth of the government bureaucracy, was that Elon Musk's little son, he's, what do you think he is? Like, he's not 3. He might be 2. I don't know. He's adorable. He's better behaved than Democrats. Like, there's no way you could have put Jamie Raskin, Jasmine Crockett, Ilhan Omar, Ayanna Presley, Pramila Jayapal in that room, and they would have been as quiet as little X. That was the first thing that jumped out. Second thing was how deferential Trump was to Musk. Oh, they're trying. They put Musk on the cover of Time. Oh, look at him, the real president. They're trying to make Trump jealous of Musk. It's clear Trump has great admiration for Elon Musk. Why wouldn't he? Elon Musk is brilliant, and that came across too yesterday. Here's the start of the press conference, and Elon Musk was, charged by Donald Trump with explaining why are we doing what we are doing with DOGE.
At a high level, you say, what is the goal of DOGE, and I think a significant part of the presidency is to restore democracy. This may seem like, well, are we in a democracy? If there's not a good feedback loop from the people to the government, and if you have rule of the bureaucrat, if the bureaucracy is in charge, and then what meaning does democracy actually have? If the people cannot vote and have their will be decided by their elected representatives in the form of the president and the Senate and the House, then we don't live in a democracy. We live in a bureaucracy. So it's incredibly important that we close that feedback loop, we fix that feedback loop, and that the public's elected representatives, the president, the House, and the Senate, decide what happens, as opposed to a large unelected bureaucracy. This is not to say that there are good people who are in the federal bureaucracy, but you can't have an autonomous federal bureaucracy. You have to have one that's responsive to the people. That's the whole point of a democracy.
And it has been what Trump is doing, allowed to be done by other presidents, both Republican and Democrat. It's just like the Democrats now don't want Trump to do it because Trump is breaking things. The way things, the worst excuse for doing something is, well, that's the way we've always done it. So when Trump goes in and he looks at under the hood at USAID, he looks under the hood at other bureaucracies, agencies under his direction as the chief executive. The Democrats howl because they have used the bureaucracy to fund organizations that give to causes that they support. They can't, some of the things they can't do overtly by the government's hand, so they farm it out to quote unquote non-governmental organizations. A non-governmental organization funded by the government, to me, is a governmental organization. That's kind of how Trump and Musk look at it too. Trump looks at it like, well, I'm the chief executive, I get to run the executive branch. But the Democrats are pushing back. And this is how we've gotten into a situation where we owe over $30 trillion and where the interest on our national debt is more than we spend on defense every year, which is the second point that Elon Musk made yesterday.
If you asked the founders today and said, what do you think of the way things have turned out? Well, we have this unelected, fourth unconstitutional branch of government, which is the bureaucracy, which has, in a lot of ways, currently more power than any elected representative. And this is not something that people want. And it's not, it does not match the will of people. So it's just something we've got to fix. And we've also got to address the deficit. So we've got a $2 trillion deficit. And if we don't do something about this deficit, the country's going bankrupt. I mean, it's really astounding that the interest payments alone on the national debt exceed the defense budget, which is shocking because we spend a lot of money on defense. But and if that just keeps going, we're essentially going to bankrupt the country. So what I really want to say is, like, it's not optional for us to reduce the federal expenses. It's essential. It's essential for America to remain solvent as a country, and it's essential for America to have the resources necessary to provide things to its citizens and not simply be servicing vast amounts of debt.
Does that make sense to you? That's the most brilliant man in the world, the guy who started Tesla, the guy who can send a 20-story rocket into space and catch it upon re-entry rather than have it land and blow up in the ocean. But he does a great job of relaying why this is such a consequential time. Then Trump asked him, hey, by the way, tell him about something else that we're going to look at, like how people like Samantha Power, who was running USAID, has a government salary less than $200,000, and her net worth soars to $30 million while she's running USAID under Joe Biden. Here's Elon Musk talking about that phenomenon, which also applies to, I don't know, Nancy Pelosi, Elizabeth Warren, and Joe Biden, and a lot of other people who've been in Washington for a long, long time.
We do find it sort of rather odd that there are quite a few people in the bureaucracy who have ostensibly a salary of a few $100,000, but somehow manage to accrue tens of millions of dollars in net worth while they are in that position, which is, what happened to USAID. We're just curious as to where it came from. Maybe they're very good at investing, in which case we should take their investment advice, perhaps. But just there seems to be mysteriously they get wealthy. We don't know why. Where does it come from? And I think the reality is that they're getting wealthy at taxpayer expense. That's the honest truth of it.
We all know that, right? Of course we do. And they know that we know, and they don't care that we know because they'd have no fear of ever getting caught. That's why they're shrieking so loud. That's why they're protesting so loud, because now, sure, they're using the courts to temporarily forestall this examination, this audit. By the way, if you have nothing to hide, why are you screaming so loudly about people taking a look? Well, they're screaming so loudly because they know exactly what they have to hide. They know that. And they were just busted this week, sending $59 million to New York. They fired 4 FEMA executives for sending $59 million to New York to house and protect and feed illegals. Meanwhile, people in North Carolina are living in tents out in the cold because, of course, North Carolina can't be counted on to vote for Democrats the way that New York City can. So Musk and Trump have struck a nerve, and they're standing on it, and the Democrats can't stand it.
News on the summit. The Senate is voting on confirmation of President Trump's nominee for National Intelligence Director, Tulsi Gabbard. The president vowing to abide by any court ruling that might block his administration's actions, including his executive orders. When it comes to the work of DOGE, a panel charged by the president with streamlining government and ending wasteful spending, panel chair Elon Musk says there's nothing draconian about it. He says it's simply a matter of common sense. Pennsylvania teacher Mark Fogel back home, freed from a Russian prison under a deal negotiated by President Trump's special envoy, Steve Witkoff. The president says another American is due for release today. The Kremlin says a Russian citizen was exchanged for Fogel. The January inflation report came in hotter than expected, up 3% from a year ago. Wall Street is lower. The Dow down 426 points. More details at srnnews.com.
For many out on the streets with no address, when the hope dies, it's hard to be found.
You get these people off our streets now.
It's not that simple. They're human beings. Where are they meant to go?
Homelessness could happen to anyone.
I don't know how much longer I can do this.
Their story is our story.
You never know in life why things work out the way they do. Never give up.
No Address, starring William Baldwin, Ashanti, and Ty Pennington. In theaters February 28th. Get your tickets at noaddressmovie.com.
You know, a lot of times Ty Pennington.
Choose between something
Ty Pennington is like from Extreme Home Makeover.
You can get both. Why not? Especially when it comes to healthcare, and that's MediShare. You get both. The typical family saves $500 a month, and they love it. The customer satisfaction rate for MediShare is double that of the typical health insurance plan. Double. So yeah, really, you can save a ton and like it better. Call now. If you get a price within 2 minutes, call 833-34-BIBLE. That's 833-34.
News, opinion, passion. Here, 98.9 FM, The Answer, anywhere you go. With The Answer's mobile app at 989theanswer.com. Also on your smart speakers, TuneIn, or iHeart. As a local business owner, you get called every week by marketing companies. We get it. We have hundreds of satisfied customers. Here's what a satisfied client recently said.
Open enrollment is going great. We're hitting record numbers. Thank you so much for this report. It really is amazing to see how the marketing is really shaping our enrollment around the city.
If you're a local business and ready to take the next step, Google Salem Surround Columbus right now. Our experts are ready to help you take your marketing to the next level. Google Salem Surround Columbus today.
This is Josh Pick with Aptus Wealth Management. The U.S. and the world have certainly changed a lot in the last few years. We're facing money dangers that we haven't seen in a long time, maybe ever. Inflation continues to be a problem. Interest rate increases have made purchases like cars and homes seemingly impossible for some, and retirement looks like a scary proposition. For many, it appears to be a dire situation and has left them paralyzed and fearful. You're not helpless, and there are ways to gain back control. At Aptus, we help our clients navigate the labyrinth of retirement planning and educate them on how to make appropriate choices for their individual situation. Whether you have never met with a fiduciary investment advisor before, or you just want a second opinion, we're here to help. Call our office today at 614-917-1040 and learn how a cost-free complimentary meeting may be the key to putting your money to work and your mind at ease. And don't forget to listen to the Aptus Blueprint Radio Show Friday evenings at 6, Saturday afternoons at noon, or call our office today at 614-917-1040.
Resist the Drift Marriage Conference is coming to Genoa Church on February 14th and 15th. Join Focus on the Family and 98.9 FM The Answer by registering today at resistthedrift.com. Become soulmates again. Sponsored by Relationships Under Construction and Adult and Teen Challenge Ohio.
If you're looking to remodel your flooring in your home, I'd love to help you with it. Go to brucehooley.com and click flooring, brand new carpet or beautiful luxury vinyl plank flooring. Hey, it's functional and it's beautiful, and it's also multi-purpose. I mean, you can use it as the flooring in your home, laundry room, bathroom, mud room, rec room, or commercial spaces. Perfect for it. The commercial warranty is fantastic. So go to brucehooley.com and click on flooring. Would love to help you come out, meet you, measure your space, talk to you about all the product lines that we have. They'll be the same ones that you have from other big box stores. We're not a big box store. That's why we don't charge what other stores charge. We do business differently. We don't have fancy wrap vehicles, and we aren't in a high rent location, but we do have our own installers, and they are accountable to us, and you're going to love them because they're very, very, very hardworking, and they are craftsmen at what they do. So if you have a flooring project, I'd love to have the chance to help you with it. BruceHooley.com, click flooring. BruceHooley.com, click flooring. So even before Donald Trump was elected president, we had a cognitive awareness. There was a lot of waste in government spending, but we didn't know how much. We didn't know how crazy it was, like transgender comic books in foreign countries, spending money to help tourism in Egypt, $6 million. I mean, just absolutely crazy stuff. Congressional Budget Office found that the U.S. government provided $516 billion, that's $500 billion, in appropriations in fiscal year 2024 to programs that had, are you ready for this? Already expired under federal law. 500 expired authorizations. Now you say, like if the authorization had expired, and this was like known in the middle of Biden's final year in office. You said, if the appropriation expired, why were we still paying it? Well, Elon Musk explained that yesterday.
If you look at, say Treasury, for example, basic controls that should be in place, that are in place in any company, such as making sure that any given payment has a payment categorization code, that there is a comment field that describes the payment, and that if the payment is on the do not pay list, that you don't actually pay it. None of those things are true currently. So the reason that departments can't pass audits is because the payments don't have a categorization code. It's like just a massive number of blank checks just flying out the building. So you can't reconcile blank checks. You've got comment fields that are also blank, so you don't know why the payment was made. And then we've got this truly absurd, a do not pay list, which can take up to a year for an organization to get on a do not pay list. And this, we're talking about terrorist organizations, we're talking about known fraudsters, known aspects of waste, known things that do not match any congressional appropriation. It can take up to a year to get on the list, and even once on the list is not used. It's mind-blowing.
It is mind-blowing. You hear all the time, oh, this guy won the lottery. Like, what percentage of lottery winners go bankrupt, right? And you're like thinking, well, if I won the lottery, I'd never go bankrupt because I'd be careful with my money. I'd get an accountant, and I'd be prudent with my spending. I'd put some away. I'd invest. Years ago, I was working in newspapers at the time, and I got assigned to cover a bankruptcy hearing in downtown Columbus. The bankruptcy hearing was for former heavyweight champion Mike Tyson. Okay, Mike Tyson, at his height as a heavyweight champion of the world, made $50 million in 1 year. $50 million. He went bankrupt. I remember one instance from the trial. They had this really glossy, fancy 12-page brochure of this mansion in Connecticut. Tyson's on the stand, and they're showing this brochure in court. And Tyson's looking through it, and, you know, the attorney's asking him questions about it. And after about 5 minutes, Tyson like has this epiphany moment. And he goes, is this my place? He was so cavalier with his spending. He had this opulent mansion that his friends were using that he didn't even know he owned. That's the U.S. government, ladies and gentlemen. That is the U.S. government. That is what Elon Musk just described. Oh, there's a do not pay list. It takes forever to get on it. And once you're on it, you still keep getting paid. Yes. And the Democrats want this to continue. Now, why does this happen? Why do they pay things that have not been authorized to continue to be paid? Well, you've heard the phrase, right? The squeaky wheel gets the grease. Works the same in government, according to Elon Musk. Just a minute. Sorry. Started that in the middle. Here we go from the very beginning. Why does that arise?
We're really just talking about adding common sense controls that should be present, that haven't been present. So you say, like, well, how could such a thing arise? That seems crazy. When you understand that really towards complaint minimization, so then you understand the motivations. So if people receive money, they don't complain, obviously. But if people don't receive money, they do complain. And the fraudsters complain the loudest and the fastest. So then when you understand that, then it makes sense. Oh, that's why everything just, they approve all the payments at Treasury. Because if you approve all the payments, you don't get complaints. But now we're saying that, no, actually, we are going to complain. If money is spent badly, if your taxpayer dollars are not spent in a sensible and frugal manner, then that's not okay. Your tax dollars need to be spent wisely on things that matter to the people.
When the Democrats lost this election, there were a few of them, James Carville and others, who were like, maybe it's not such a good idea that we campaign for trans athletes in sports. Maybe it's not such a good idea that you open the border wide and that we let illegals come into our country and told everybody they weren't coming in, that the border was secure. And when Laken Riley was murdered and Ruby Garcia and Jocelyn Nungaray and Rachel Morin were murdered, maybe it wasn't such a good idea that we told people, well, I know those girls got raped and murdered and thrown in drainage ditches. But really, the rate of immigrant crime is so much lower than the rate of actual U.S. citizen crime. There were a few Democrats who figured that out, that those were bad positions to be on. But not very many of them have that clarity, because you wouldn't be seeing them in Washington, D.C. rallying every day about Elon Musk not being elected. You know who else is not elected? The judges who are trying to stop Elon Musk. They will lose this fight at the Supreme Court. They will lose this fight because Donald Trump is the chief executive and he has the right to manage the federal agencies under his command. Now, if Congress had done its job over the last 15, 20, 30, 40, 50 years and had required detailed budgets from certain agencies, and Congress had weighed in, but they haven't, because what they've done is they've converted to these omnibus spending bills, right? Where we're going to spend all this kind of money and we empower the agency director. Well, guess what? The agency director is not operating in a vacuum anymore, because Elon Musk and his band of DOGE overseers are taking a look at it, and Donald Trump is taking a sledgehammer to it. And it's not even really a fight to see who wins in public opinion. When you just listen to Musk talk about how these measures are not hard for people to understand, you don't need to be able to land a rocket like Elon Musk can land a rocket. You don't need to be able to figure out how to build an electric car like Elon Musk can do. Mr. and Mrs. American, a farmer in rural Mississippi, understands what Elon Musk is talking about when he talks about what their goal is here with what they're doing, overseeing government spending.
These things, it's just common sense. It's not draconian or radical. I think it's really just saying, let's look at each of the expenditures and say, is this actually in the best interest of the people? And if it is, it's approved. If it's not, we should think about it.
Go ahead and campaign against that, Democrats. Go ahead and campaign. And also, I want to see you campaign against the fact that, as Elon Musk and his overseers have found, some people, they're not, I guess the determination on whether you should take Social Security at 62 or 65 or 67, it's not really such a tough choice if you know how long you can draw Social Security, as Musk pointed out some are doing in his press conference with Donald Trump yesterday.
There's crazy things like just cursory examination of Social Security that 150 years old. Now, do you know anyone who's 150? I don't. Okay. They should be on the Guinness Book of World Records. They're missing out. So, that's the case where, I think they're probably dead. It's my guess. Or they should be very famous, one of the two. And then there's a whole bunch of Social Security payments where there's no identifying information. Well, why is there no identifying information?
It's one of my favorite lines from yesterday. Do you know anybody who's 150 years old? They should be in the Guinness Book of World Records. I think they're probably dead. I think he was talking about the Social Security people, but if he could have been talking about Democrats.
Great to rain for this afternoon. High today at 41. For tonight, not as cold this evening. Snow and sleet, little or no accumulation. Rain late tonight, low 32. Breezy day tomorrow. Clouds followed by some sun, high 37. And then sunny clouds on Friday. Chilly afternoon, high 35. Rain at times on Saturday, high 33.
Okay.
And a bit of snow on
Thanks.
Sunday.
Do you see the
38.
emails from
I'm Steve Williams on 98.9 FM. The answer.
I've seen them.
Planning for retirement is no small task. If you don't know where to start,
we
join
tried
Rodney
and he didn't
Peters,
answer.
Peters Wealth
Yeah.
Group
Now
every
it's our
Saturday
fault.
at
Yeah.
10 and 2.
Are they upset? I haven't.
Retire Ready,
I saw we were
Ohio.
supposed to reach out and do
Rodney
it again.
shares helpful
Are we
tips and
getting
strategies
screamed at for not
just
doing it?
might change the course of your retirement. Listen every Saturday, 10 and 2. Retire Ready,
We gotta
Ohio
get this done.
with Rodney
Okay,
Peters,
fantastic.
Peters Wealth Group.
All right. I'll take a look at it after the
Insurance
show.
services, investment
Thanks, Jeff.
advisory services are offered through Peters Wealth Group, a state-registered investment advisor.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm, A-rated by the Better Business Bureau. Their award-winning team of tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to end your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other IRS actions. Make sure you're getting the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima today for a free confidential consultation.
Call 800-965-1433. 800-965-1433. 800-965-1433.
Optima Tax Relief. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Hi, everyone. If you've been injured in an accident that was not your fault, listen up. We have legal professionals standing by to answer your questions for free. Call now and find out if you have a case and how much it's potentially worth. Call 800-504-8790. I'm here with spokesman John Wolf. So, John, tell everyone listening to call right now.
Well, Maria, first off, thank you for having me here. It's always nice to answer the listeners' questions. Now, as far as who should call in, anyone who's been injured in an accident and think you deserve compensation, give us a call right now. 800-504-8790. You'll find out if you have a case and how much it's potentially worth.
Thanks, John. You heard it, folks. Take advantage of this opportunity and call now. 800-504-8790.
Advertisement sponsored by Legal Help Center, may not be available in all states.
Hey, Carl Jackson here for while Dennis Prager is recuperating, we know you miss your daily dose of Dennis. That's why Pragertopia is giving you a special gift. Right now, Pragertopia members can hear the best 2 hours of Dennis's favorite segments from as far back as 2010. On Monday, you can hear the Happiness Hour.
Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. That's what I'm about.
Tuesday is Celebrity Guest Day.
Donald Trump Jr. is in studio with me.
On Wednesday, it's the Male-Female Hour.
I really do wish there were a way to ascertain the number of marriages that this hour has helped.
Thursday, the Ultimate Issues Hour.
Not having ultimate issues clarity is like having a map, but you don't know where you're going.
And Friday is Open Lines.
Feel free to ask me anything about me, about you, about life.
So if you're missing your daily dose of Dennis, go to Pragertopia.com and hear all your favorite segments along with lectures, celebrity interviews, and his famous Torah teachings and more. Get your daily dose of Dennis at Pragertopia.com, Pragertopia.com.
QC Kinetics offers you the opportunity to explore a pain-free life. I know that pain can intrude when you get a little bit older. Maybe you've had an injury or something, and it's hard to shovel that snow, or you're looking forward to spring, but putting that mulch down or mowing your lawn, bumping around the yard on your zero-turn mower, your riding mower, or heaven forbid, walking. Well, you don't have to be in pain. QC Kinetics offers you an avenue through which you can explore healing. Advanced biologic therapy is what it's called. Your body is designed to heal itself. It does it a lot of times without you even noticing it. You cut your finger, you don't go to the doctor. You sprain your ankle, you don't go to the doctor. You just wait for your body to heal it. Well, that's what QC Kinetics helps your body do. They inject your blood back into your body once they've separated the platelets out. The platelets are what heal your body. So if you had more of the healing agents in an affected area where you have arthritic pain, the pain can go away. It's worked for thousands throughout Central Ohio, throughout the United States. Explore healing. by pursuing the free, no obligation consultation available to you in Gahanna or Dublin, the clinics of QC Kinetics, 380-208-4544, 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544. Now, I thought I could get through the remarkable Musk DOGE press conference yesterday in half an hour. That was foolish. Too much good stuff in there. And so I'm going to consume the rest of the hour with that. And then start hour number 2. I'll get to my thoughts on Mike DeWine naming Jim Tressel the lieutenant governor for the state of Ohio. Tulsi Gabbard has been confirmed as the National Intelligence Director. So remember when Hegseth wasn't going to make it? Oh, Pete Hegseth doesn't have a chance. He made it fine. He's over there working out with the troops the other day. Pete Hegseth, super impressive. Super impressive guy. Troops love him. Recruitment is up. Home run. Tulsi Gabbard, no way. Tulsi Gabbard never going to make it. RFK, not going to make it. RFK hasn't made it yet, but it's looking like he will. So it looks like, oh, Kash Patel too. Oh, Kash Patel, no. Well, Kash Patel seems like he's on the rocket ship to confirmation as well. Democrats are trying to hold it up. They're getting broken in every one of their objections, and they will be broken by DOGE because the ultimate authority on this is going to be the U.S. Supreme Court. And sorry about it, Democrats, but the President of the United States has the authority to manage the legislative branch. You can not like it. You were fine with it when Barack Obama said he had a pen and a phone and he'd get everything done without Congress. Well, now you're going to have to eat it. And a lot of this spending is going to go away. And hopefully it will make Donald Trump so popular that Republicans will strengthen their majority in the midterms. And then we can get a lot of these cuts that Trump and Musk and DOGE are doing. We can get them codified into law so they will be harder to undo should a Democrat be elected president in 2028, which right now, given the 31% approval rating of the Democratic Party, which who are the 31%? But at 31%, they're not winning an election anytime soon. And who are they going to run? Yeah, they run Josh Shapiro. I know you're saying Josh Shapiro. Well, good luck with that. Good luck with running a Jewish candidate, given how Democrats feel about Jews. Now, Musk has articulated already in cuts I've played for you how crazy it is at Treasury, where every bill gets paid because if you complain loud, you get your bill paid. And as he said, people who are getting money don't complain. People who don't get money do complain. So then they pay the bill because, well, they're complaining and we don't want anybody to complain. And then he talked about somebody who's 150 years old getting Social Security. And he said, I don't know anybody who's 150 years old. They should be more famous than they are if they're actually alive at 150. But he said the sad fact of the matter is they're probably dead. Yes, that is true. Now, you know Trump has offered a buyout to federal employees, right? And you get 8 months pay. You don't have to go to work now. You get 8 months severance. And 40-some thousand, I think, have taken him up on this offer. But judges are trying to block it because apparently it is impossible for more than 10,000 people to retire in a single month within the federal government. Why is it impossible for more than 10,000 people to retire from the federal government in a single month? Well, here's Elon Musk explaining why.
That'd be a great anecdote because we're told the most number of people that could retire possibly in a month is 10,000. We're like, well, why is that? Well, because all the retirement paperwork is manual on paper. It's manually calculated, then written down on a piece of paper. Then it goes down a mine. And like, what do you mean a mine? Like, yeah, there's a limestone mine where we store all the retirement paperwork. And you look at a picture of this mine. We'll post some pictures afterwards. And this mine looks like something out of the 50s because it was started in 1955. It looks like it's like a time warp. And then the speed, the limiting factor is the speed at which the mine shaft elevator can move determines how many people can retire from the federal government. And the elevator breaks down sometimes, and then nobody can retire. Doesn't that sound crazy? There's like 1,000 people that work on this. So I think if we take those people and say, like, you know what, instead of working in a mine shaft carry manila envelopes to, boxes in a mine shaft. You could do practically anything else, and you would add to the goods and services of the United States in a more useful way.
I don't know if the manila envelopes have to be delivered via Pony Express. Could we make it any more antiquated than did he say a steam-powered elevator down to a mine shaft from the 1950s to store the retirement paperwork? Okay, fine. Simple mission of DOGE is to increase government productivity. What? Democrats will have to rally against that. A productive government? Are you kidding me?
You say, like, how do we increase prosperity? Is we get people to shift from roles that are low to negative productivity to high productivity. And so you increase the total output of goods and services, which means that there's a higher standard of living available for everyone. That's the actual goal.
Now you'll notice I played like 12 cuts from Elon Musk. Have you heard a word from Donald Trump yet? No, you have not. Trump's just sitting there the whole time. Trump's sitting there just looking at him admiringly, like as entranced by Musk's brilliance and plain spokenness and good humor as I am. Finally, then, Musk throws it open for questions. And here comes the first one from Jeff Mason of Reuters.
Your detractors, Mr. Musk,
what?
including a lot of Democrats.
I have detractors?
You do, sir.
I don't believe it.
Say that you're orchestrating a hostile takeover of government and doing it in a non-transparent way. What's your response to that criticism?
Well, first of all, you couldn't ask for a stronger mandate from the public. The public voted, we have a majority of the public voting for President Trump. We won the House, we won the Senate. The people voted for major government reform. There should be no doubt about that. That was on the campaign. The president spoke about that at every rally. The people voted for major government reform, and that's what people are going to get. They're going to get what they voted for. And a lot of times, people, they don't get what they voted for. But in this presidency, they are going to get what they voted for. And that's what democracy is all about.
Yeah, but it's not what the typical president does. I guess that's why Democrats, can't handle what's going on. I got to play you a little Trump here because, he is the president. And there are those who say, you're not the president anymore. Here's Trump and Musk on the transparency of the process.
Transparency is what builds trust, not simply somebody asserting trust. So not somebody saying they're trustworthy, but transparency, so you can see everything that's going on. And then you can see, am I doing something that benefits one of my companies or not? It's totally obvious.
And we thought that we would not let him do that segment or look in that area if we thought there was a lack of transparency or a conflict of interest. And we watched that also. He's a big businessman. He's a successful guy. That's why we want him doing this. We don't want an unsuccessful guy doing this.
Democrats are not upset about the lack of transparency. Democrats are upset that there is so much transparency that the American people are being told how Democrats have wasted money over the years and want to continue to waste money. That's what they're upset about. They're upset about you being an informed voter. They are upset about their grift being exposed.
Hi, my name is Justin Petrichor. I'm Julian Petrichor. We run Alpha Waste. We offer front-load dumpsters as well as roll-off dumpsters for local residents and businesses. Our prices are set at flat fixed rates. The price we give is the price you'll pay. We don't force our customers into contracts unless they want one. We keep our customers by providing quality service at affordable prices. If you need a front load or roll-off dumpster, go to alphawasteservice.com.
Again, that's alphawasteservice.com.
Resist the drift. If you're married, you got to know these 3 words. Let's be honest. Every couple.
All right, I'm going to continue the live stream for another segment because I know you're all dying to hear what I have to say about Jim Tressel to be the next lieutenant governor of the state of Ohio. So we'll continue this for one more segment, and then we'll end it. So hang with us here through what is a extended, prolonged break. And we'll see if I can do a good job of summarizing. why this is a curious move.
I'm John Scott. The U.S. Senate has confirmed the nomination of former Congresswoman Tulsi Gabbard to be the next Director of National Intelligence. Senator Charles Grassley, chair of the Senate Judiciary Committee, spoke before today's vote.
Based on my conversation, I expect Tulsi Gabbard, along with CIA Director Ratcliffe, will ensure that the intelligence community will be forthcoming and fully responsible to Congress as we in Congress exercise our constitutional responsibility.
The only no vote from a Republican came from Senator Mitch McConnell of Kentucky. President Trump pressuring the Federal Reserve on interest rates. The president wrote on social media that interest rates should be lowered. He said lower rates would go hand in hand with his upcoming tariffs, despite economists' expectations that tariffs would fuel inflation. Also at townhall.com, heavy snow and freezing rain causing havoc on roads in Virginia. And a Weather Service meteorologist Scott Kleebauer says the Northeast corridor could get a little more snow today, but nothing significant.
What starts as snow potentially around the New York City, Boston area this morning will kind of transition more into like a mix to rain later on today. So we're not anticipating like any significant snowfall accumulations across that area. However, there should be a little bit of snow that falls today before things kind of get washed away.
93,000 customers in Virginia have lost power. The snowstorm that blew into the mid-Atlantic states caused accidents on icy roads and prompted school closures. The Dow losing 266 points, the NASDAQ Composite 36 points in the red. More at townhall.com.
Mostly cloudy and periods of rain for this afternoon. High today at 41. For tonight, not as cold this evening. Snow and sleet, little or no accumulation. Rain late tonight, low 32. Breezy day tomorrow. Clouds followed by some sun, high 37. And then sun and clouds on Friday. Chilly afternoon, high 35. Rain at times on Saturday, high 43. Clouds and a bit of snow on Sunday. I'm Steve Williams on 98.9 FM. The Answer.
Hi, this is Ralph Drollinger, president and founder of Capital Ministries. I have the privilege of leading the Senate and House member Bible study every week in Washington, D.C. And I'm also the host of the new weekend program here on your radio station called Capital Ministries Weekend. Listen along as we discuss the crossroads between the Bible and politics on a timely basis.
Listen to Capital Ministries Weekend, Sunday mornings at 7:30 on 98.9 FM The Answer.
With SRN Sports, I'm George Williams. Kevin Durant becomes the 8th player in NBA history to score 30,000 points. Reached that milestone on a free throw in the third quarter during last night's game against the Memphis Grizzlies. His achievement unfortunately did not help the Suns as the Grizzlies defeated Phoenix 119-112. The other three games by a 3-point margin, the Raptors over the 76ers 106-103. Knicks topped the Pacers 128-115. And in a big rout, the Pistons over the Bulls 132-92. Lots of NCAA top 25 college basketball last night. The top three teams won by wide margins. Top-ranked Auburn over Vanderbilt. Number 2, Alabama over Texas. And third-ranked Florida down 22nd-ranked Mississippi State. More scores coming up in college basketball and more. This is SRN Sports. Some upsets last night. 15th-ranked Kentucky over 5th-ranked Tennessee, 75-64. And 20th-ranked Michigan, a winner over 7th-ranked Purdue, 77-65. Number 8, Texas A&M down Georgia. Number 10, Iowa State beat UCF. But in another upset, Indiana down 11th-ranked Michigan State, 71-67.
Wow.
Another upset, Kansas State over 13th-ranked Arizona by 3 points, 73-70. 17th-ranked Kansas was a winner, as was number 18 Marquette. UConn defeated 24th-ranked Creighton. The NHL will play its new Nations Face-Off format beginning tonight with Canada versus Sweden. Tomorrow night, USA versus Finland. It's a 4-team round robin. Next pair of games Saturday, then Monday is the wrap-up for next Thursday's championship. Springtime has arrived for baseball. Los Angeles Dodgers went through a light workout yesterday, the defending World Series champions. This is SRN Sports.
Portions of the following program may be pre-recorded.
Happy birthday to us. 2 surprises for you. 2 surprises from NordVPN. 2 surprises for you. Celebrate twice a week with NordVPN.
All right.
We have a special birthday deal. Get 72% off and a coupon for up to 1 year free. NordVPN is rated as excellent on PC Mac. Visit
Bad dude, federal drug
NordVPN.com and discover
investigation.
one of the most advanced VPNs in the world. What are the benefits? Secure up to 10 devices with a single account.
He didn't do
Receive
that.
alerts if your email address leaks to the dark web. Reduce the risk of phishing, scams, and malware with NordVPN's Threat Protection Pro tool. Encrypt your online traffic and browse with more peace of mind. Get the special birthday deal at NordVPN.com. Additional terms apply. NordVPN, cybersecurity built for every day.
Here we go. Oh, hour number 2. Bruce Hooley Show. Glad to have you with us. It is a Wednesday. There are just some topics that seem to just follow you wherever you go. And I thought this one was long in my past, but it's not, because the other day when I was homesick with the flu, I was watching the news, and up comes the news that Mike DeWine has tapped Jim Tressel, the former Ohio State football coach, to replace John Husted as Lieutenant Governor of the state of Ohio. Husted, of course, named to replace J.D. Vance as U.S. Senator when J.D. Vance ascended to the White House. Okay, I understand why this is a popular decision. I understand many of you, in fact, most of you, in fact, probably all of you, love Jim Tressel because you have a very fond memory of his time as Ohio State's football coach. I have had a long and involved history with Jim Tressel, and know his history, I would dare say, better than almost anyone in this city or in this state. And I doubt very seriously if any member of the Ohio General Assembly will take the time to acquaint themselves with Jim Tressel's background in a way that I think it would be incumbent upon them if they're going to vote for him or confirm him to a position as important as Lieutenant Governor of the state of Ohio. I will leave it to the much more learned political pundits than myself, like Matt Mayer, who yesterday talked with you at length about the political ramifications of Jim Tressel being named to succeed John Husted as Lieutenant Governor. I do not know, nor will I guess, whether Jim Tressel has designs on being the governor of the state of Ohio, running as he would have to at age 74. Would not surprise me at all, because his ego is such that I believe he believes he could do that job. And I believe he, having been out of the spotlight for some time, would probably enjoy it. I think he would be a force to be reckoned with if he runs for re-election, but that's not where I'm going to go regarding whether Vivek Ramaswamy could beat him or whether he'll run or anything like that. What I would say is what I have always said, which is that you get the leaders that you demand. And I would presume that in any high political office, we would want people who are of unimpeachable integrity, or if they are not of unimpeachable integrity, that they would have owned up to their mistakes. I'm not a perfect person. No one is a perfect person. I am a forgiven sinner, and forgiveness is available to everyone. But what is incumbent upon someone who has done something wrong, in my estimation, if you are a man of honor, is you admit your mistake and you take responsibility for your mistake. They might be saying, why are you talking about these kinds of things in relation to Jim Tressel? Jim Tressel's a wonderful man. Jim Tressel's a high man of integrity. He's a man of character and all that. And I understand why you think that. But what you are choosing to not research and what you are choosing to not avail yourself of is knowledge that is out there. If you spend a half an hour or 5 minutes, either one, on the internet the circumstances that led to Jim Tressel's departure from Ohio State. Now, when I bring that up, I can hear former players of Coach Tressel saying, oh, here you go with the tattoo stuff. Really, Bruce? The tattoo stuff? We got players driving $100,000 cars and making millions of dollars a year. And all the stuff that Jim Tressel went on probation for is 100% legal now in NCAA college athletics. And they would be 100% right. They would be 100% right on that. But the larger issue is not that Jim Tressel lost his job because his players took tattoos and sold their memorabilia, which was against NCAA rules at the time. The larger issue to me is a reflection of his complete and utter lack of integrity, because I would never knowingly sign my name to a lie. And it is indisputable and inarguable, no matter how much you love the 2002 national championship, and no matter how much you love the sweater vest and the senator nickname that he had as head coach, it is indisputable and inarguable that Jim Tressel lied to his employers at Ohio State, lied to the NCAA, and did not do what a man of honor does when they are apprised of things that are going wrong that could endanger the safety of players under their direction. That is inarguable, and it's not just me saying it. It was the NCAA who said it, and it was Jim Tressel's own employer, Ohio State University, who said it. Let's just go back, and I'll read you the timeline right out of the NCAA report. All the stuff that happened, that transpired, that led to Jim Tressel resigning his position as football coach at Ohio State on Memorial Day of 2011. He was notified of in an email from a former Ohio State football player in April of 2010. He got an email from this player, this ex-player who was an attorney in town, who said, you've got players who are selling their stuff to a guy who is under a felony drug trafficking investigation, a guy who has witnessed a murder. This is a bad dude. You should keep your players away from this guy. April 2nd, 2010. The emails continued between the former player and Tressel throughout April. And then in September, Jim Tressel signed an NCAA form that all coaches are required to sign, asking him, do you know of any violations in your program? It's a routine thing. All coaches are obligated to sign it, because if you knew of any violations in your program, you were compelled to tell both your employer. His contract called for him to tell his employer if he knew of it. He didn't tell Gene Smith, his athletic director. He didn't tell the university president, Gordon Gee. He didn't tell anybody. He kept it a secret. If your son or daughter played for Jim, well, not your daughter, but if your son played for Jim Tressel at the time and was mixed up with a guy who had witnessed a murder and was involved in a federal drug trafficking investigation, and the head coach who, when he recruited your son, told you that I'll look out for him, I'll raise him to be a great man, would you want the coach to call you and say, you know, I'm hearing some things that your son is messed up with a really bad dude. I'm going to talk to your son, and you're going to talk to your son. We're going to get this straightened out. We're going to tell him to stay away from this guy. Would you want to call as a parent if that was the guy coaching your son? I would want that call. He didn't make that call. He didn't make that call to any parent, not a single one. Okay? So then in September, he signed the NCAA form. He signed his name to a lie. Then in December, Ohio State found out through federal authorities. They raided this guy, the guy under investigation for drugs. They raided this guy's place of business, and they found the memorabilia from Ohio State's players. And they went to Ohio State. The feds went to Ohio State, and they said, hey, we got this stuff from your players. And there was a press conference at Ohio State in December of 2010. Now, remember, Tressel got the email in April that he knew about this. Did he come forward then and go, yeah, you know, I knew about this in April? And no. He made those players sit up there at a press conference and confess to their wrongdoing. And he never said a word about knowing a thing about it. finally, the university was going to appeal the suspensions that were given the players for the following season. And they went through all of Tressel's old emails, and that's when they found out that he knew about this, 8 months before? And so it's not me saying that this happened. It's not somebody who doesn't like Jim Tressel saying this happened. I just don't find it to be a characteristic of somebody who should hold the position of lieutenant governor in the state of Ohio that they would sign their name to a lie, that they would hang their players out to take the blame for something that they knew about. And then after Jim Tressel's duplicity and all this was exposed in March, he still never to this day explained why he did what he did or apologized for why he did what he did. I don't find that to be demonstrative of someone who has integrity and character, and I don't find it to be a characteristic of somebody that I think is fit to serve one heartbeat away from being the governor of the state of Ohio. I understand my opinion is going to be dramatically different than yours. I understand that all you care about is that he won a lot of football games and he was 9-1 against Michigan. But you get the kind of leaders that you demand, and it doesn't even have to enter the conversation as to whether or not he's qualified to lead an operation as big as the state of Ohio should something happen to Mike DeWine, or whether Jim Tressel would be qualified to lead the state of Ohio as governor of Ohio if he chooses to run for re-election. He has already, in my view, proven himself to be the kind of person who will always prioritize his own personal reputation and image over doing what is right. I know that doesn't comport with what you think of him, but those are what the facts say.
Mostly cloudy and periods of rain for this afternoon. High today at 41. For tonight, not as cold this evening. Snow and sleet. Little or no accumulation. Rain late tonight, low 32. Breezy day tomorrow. Clouds followed by some sun. High 37. And then sun and clouds on Friday. Today, high 35. Rain at times on Saturday. High 43.
All right, there we go. Bear poked. So we'll see. I'm sure that'll land popularly. Didn't care in 2010, don't care now. Truth matters.
Get a brand new Goodman furnace from Temperature Pro for just $1,900.
Have a great day. Hope I don't have to talk about this anymore.